Hello guys, this is part 4 of my guide on civilizations in Civilization 5. I have discovered something interesting that I didn't know when I was recording the previous parts. The Civilization 5 recordings don't take up that nearly as much space as the Minecraft recordings do, so I can record longer. These parts can be longer than the 10 to 15 minutes I've been making them. I know part 2 or part 3, I forget. I think it was part 2. Was 25 minutes long, and it was less than a gigabyte, less than half a gigabyte, which was really good. Anyway, back to civilizations. We're in England. England is a tier 2 civ on my list. That is because their navy bonuses are super strong. They get +2 movement for all naval units. This is very good, especially unless you're on Pangaea. But I mean, on a standard continents map, or any continents map, or any map that has smaller bodies of land, smaller land masses, this is very good, because battleships and destroyers can cross the world very quickly, and English ships can outpace everyone. If you're playing as England, you want to build the Great Lighthouse so that nobody else can compare to your movement. You'll get +3 movement for all your naval units. It's crazy. Nobody will be able. You'll be able to outpace everyone, outrun everyone else's navy, and then on top of that, England receives 1 extra spy. That's the next part of the unique ability. They receive an extra spy, so they can. So basically, what I do and what I recommend you do with spies is put the first spy you get when someone enters the Renaissance era. Put your first spy in your capital, so nobody can it can fight anyone trying to steal from you. Then use your other spy. I mean, you don't get another spy, but if you're England, you do. So you can put one of your 2 spies that you get whenever someone enters the Renaissance era in your capital, and the other one in someone else's cities, to steal technology, or to keep an eye on what they're up to, or in a city-state to rig elections and gain influence over them. It's just really good. Extra spy is good. Then the longbowman is a great unit. Replaces the crossbowman. The crossbowman is one of the most powerful units in the game for its time, particularly, and relating to its time. I mean, the longbowman makes it even better. The longbowman has an extra range. The crossbowman can shoot 2 tiles away. The longbowman can shoot 3. So this gives England an advantage. This extra range is kept upon upgrade. Crossbowmen upgrade into Gatling guns. Gatling guns are a ranged unit that can only shoot 1 tile away, so any unit right next to them. The longbowman, when it upgrades to a Gatling gun, it's a Gatling gun that can shoot 2 tiles away. And eventually it's a machine gun that can shoot 2 tiles away, and eventually a bazooka that can shoot 2 tiles away. It's crazy. They're really good. Then Ship of the Line is a powerful boat. It replaces the frigate, which is a very good boat for its time already. But the Ship of the Line is much stronger than the frigate. The frigate has 28 ranged strength and 25 combat strength. The Ship of the Line has 35 ranged strength. That's 7 more. You could do math. That's good. And 30 combat strength. So that's a lot higher than the frigate. And it also has +1 sight, so it can see farther, and thanks to Britain's ability, or England's ability, excuse me, it can move 2 tiles faster. England's navy power is insane. They are, in my opinion, the #1 navy civilization in the game. Now Venice. Oh my gosh, Venice. Venice is a fun one. You see, Venice is unique on my tier list. They are tier 1 when playing single player, and tier 5 when playing multiplayer. So let me go over their stuff. Oh, and I forgot to mention the coastal start bias that England has. So yeah, England has a coastal start bias, which is good for the unique ability. But anyway, back to Venice. Venice also has a coastal start bias, which Venice needs because part of their ability, and you'll see that in a moment. They can't. So Venice cannot gain settlers nor annex cities. That is why it's a good thing that Venice has a coastal start bias, because otherwise they would not be able to produce something in coastal cities, and they wouldn't be able to get coastal wonders. But that alone, they cannot gain settlers nor annex cities. That alone is the reason why they are tier 5 in multiplayer. That's the only reason they're tier 5 in multiplayer. Because of this, they can't keep up on the scoreboard. They can't claim the lands they want. It's just everyone else can just surround you, and you're surrounded by enemies, and you have the military you can produce and buy with one city to defend your one city, and everyone else is surrounded. You can have more than one city by puppeting them or capturing them, but they're not usually next to Venice itself. So you're spread out, and it's just not a good situation. Now, this is what makes them tier 1 in single player. Double the normal number of trade routes available. That is 16 after discovering every tech that gives you the ability to establish a new trade route. That is 20 if you get the Colossus and Petra. So you have 20 trade routes. That is a crazy amount of gold you can get. Not good enough in multiplayer, but real good in single player. And then a Merchant of Venice appears after researching optics. This Merchant of Venice, I'll get to their abilities later, but this is nice. This is a nice thing to get. And they may purchase in puppeted cities, which only makes sense because they can't produce anything in any of their cities minus Venice itself, because they can't annex cities or settle cities. They can only puppet cities. So that's needed, of course. Now the Merchant of Venice. The Merchant of Venice replaces the Great Merchant. So the Merchant of Venice replaces the Great Merchant. I don't know how I feel about the Merchant of Venice. It is used to buy city-states, giving you the city-state and all its buildings and units peacefully, which is important part of Venice. You need that in Venice, basically. It's really helpful. But it's a Great Merchant replacement, and yeah, I don't like Great Merchants, because well, when you get a Great Merchant, it pushes back it raises the amount of points you need to get a great scientist, great engineer, or another great merchant. It's all part of that same pool of points. And great scientists and great engineers are the two best great people in my opinion. And getting a great merchant, and in this case Merchant of Venice, pushes back the amount of time it'll take for me to get a great scientist or great engineer. But yeah, I need as Venice, I need the ability to buy city-states, because Venice otherwise is just stuck with Venice or military capture, which isn't as efficient. Moving on to Great Galleus. It replaces the Galleus, obviously. It's stronger both ranged and defensively. It has 20 versus 17 range strength and 18 versus 16 combat strength. I personally don't like this unit because it's an early naval unit. Any unit that replaces the trireme or the Galleus I do not like, because it's just an early game navy unit. It can't cross ocean. It's not very good for anything, in my opinion. It's inconvenient. It's just inconvenient, I guess. So anyway, moving on from Venice to Indonesia. Oh man, Indonesia. Indonesia is a tier 3 civ on my list. There's a lot to go over, so there's quite a bit to go over with Indonesia. They are quite the unique civ. They have a coastal start bias, so that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, coastal start biases give you make your capital vulnerable to navy attacks, but you can defend from that. And then Indonesia, their unique ability is quite unique. The first 3 cities founded on continents other than where Indonesia started each provide 2 unique luxury resources and can never be erased. So basically, when you found Jakarta, if you go to even the smallest island, even a 1-tile island, and you found a city there, that city is going to have 2 unique luxury resources and can never be erased. So these resources are let me see if I can figure out. These resources are nutmeg, cloves, and pepper. So you can get each of these. You just have to found 3 different cities on different continents. So like you can go. Let's say you found a small island off the coast of the continent Jakarta is on. Jakarta is Indonesia's capital. You settle a city on that. You settle Medan on that city, and on that island. I mean, that Medan will get like 2 nutmegs, for instance. You can keep one of those nutmegs and get the happiness from it, which is what you should do, and trade the other one away. That second copy of that luxury resource is going to be valuable because you're the only one who has control of it. It's impossible for anyone else to get it. And then, so you have a city, you have Jakarta, then you have that Medan on that island. Let's say you go over to the next continent, all the way over across the world. You settle another city there. You get cloves, and then another small island. You settle a 4th city there. You get pepper. So it's pretty unique. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of work though. The Chris Swordsman. This unit is going to be where Indonesia takes a while to go over. Hold on a second. The Chris Swordsman replaces the Swordsman. I don't like the Chris Swordsman at all. First of all, you never build Swordsmen because they require iron and they're weaker than the Spearmen, which don't require iron and come at the same time. But the other thing I don't like about the Chris Swordsman is that they have the Mystic Blade trait, which gives you a unique promotion after the first time you use the Chris Swordsman in combat. These promotions can be good or bad, and these promotions stay with the unit upon upgrade. So you have these promotions forever. There's Invulnerability is one of the unique promotions you can get. There's plus 30% combat bonus when defending, and plus 20 HP when healing. That one is really good. Invulnerability is a really good one because it's a very defensive promotion. Unfortunately, the promotions are chosen at random. The promotion is chosen at random, so you don't know if you're gonna get. You won't always get this one. Sneak attack is the next one. This is another promotion you can get. Flank attack bonus increased by 50%. That is good. The only problem with Chris Swordsman is a blocker unit, and you won't do much flanking with them, especially since they have low movement points, which only 2. Heroism unit awards combat to. This one, Heroism, is probably one of the better ones too. Unit awards combat to nearby units as if it is a great general. That's really good. So basically, you have a unique. Basically, you have a great general that can attack as well. Ambition plus 50% combat bonus when attacking. That's good, but ambition comes with a drawback. It's minus 20% when defending. Personally, I don't like this promotion, but because you have a blocker unit that takes more damage when defending than it would otherwise. It turns your unit into a glass cannon. Restlessness is the next promotion I'll go over. That the Chris Swordsman may attack twice and gets 1 extra movement. That is really good. Essentially, you're a Chris Swordsman with this promotion can move 3 tiles and can attack twice. So it can attack if it's standing next to an enemy unit. It can attack once, attack again, and then draw back. And then recruitment. Next promotion is recruitment. Heals 50% if the unit kills a non-barbarian unit. That's pretty good for warfare against other empires or city-states. Enemy blade. It takes 20 damage if the unit ends its turn in enemy territory. This one is bad, because this means you can't, the Cursed Swordsman, which is normally a blocker unit anyway, but even if you want to use it on the offensive, you can't, because it'll take 20 damage if it ends in enemy territory. So that promotion is crap. Then Evil Spirits, minus 10% combat penalty when attacking, minus 30% penalty when defending. So if you get Evil Spirits, you're gonna delete the unit, no doubt about it, because either way your unit's weaker than everything else. It has a penalty whether it's attacking or defending. I personally don't like the Cursed Swordsman because I don't know what to expect from it. Then the Kandi replaces the Garden. And Kandi is nice because it doesn't require a fresh water source adjacent to the city like the Garden does. This means you can build this building anywhere, and this building is the only building that gives you the only building, not non-wonder, non-national wonder either, building that gives you a plus 25% generation towards great people everywhere in your empire. You know what I mean? You can build it everywhere in your empire. So the Kandi also provides plus 2 faith, helping with faith generation. It gives plus 2 faith for each religion that has at least one follower in the city. That's part about the plus 2 faith for each religion that has at least one follower in the city. I don't like it that much because that means you have to have other religions in your city, and I would like to be the founder of a religion, and therefore I want my religion to be the superior religion in my cities. So yeah, I don't really care about that plus 2 faith for each religion that has at least one follower in the city. Anyway, enough on Indonesia. Let's go to India. India is on my list. India is tier 3 civ. It has a grassland start bias, so it will get food from that quite well from the beginning of the game. Its ability, unhappiness from number of cities doubled. So basically, if you have a lot of cities, you're gonna get more unhappiness from them than any other empire. And then unhappiness from number of citizens halved. So it means you that means you can have a larger population without being unhappy. So basically, playing as India requires you to play with a few cities with high population, not a lot of cities. That is known as tall. That's known as playing tall. Low number of cities, high population in each. And that's good for science. That's pretty good for science. Then the war elephant replaces the chariot archer. The war elephant doesn't require horses like other elephant units, and it can only move 3 tiles instead of 4. It can use full movement in rough terrain, which is different from the chariot archer. And they also have extra strength, 9 versus 6 when it comes to melee, and 11 versus 10 when it comes to ranged. So it's a pretty decent unit. Mughal Fort, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it replaces the castle. It's the same defense bonuses as the castle, but it also provides plus 2 culture. So it helps you with culture, and it also gives you, after you research flight, it gives you plus 2 tourism. So this helps with the cultural victory. So India has potential for culture and science right there. And so India's pretty versatile. Except you can't go with domination. And then Mongolia. Mongolia is a tier 4 civ. It's definitely a civ I do not like very much. Let me go up to where my notes are on it. They have no start bias, so you don't know what to expect. They get a plus 30% combat strength when fighting city-state units or attacking a city-state itself. So this is pointless. That's pointless at all because you don't usually fight wars against city-states unless you're fighting a war against unless the city-state is in a spot where it would be very beneficial for you to take it, or if you're at war with someone who in the city-state allies and they have a city-state ally right next to you. Even then, it's still pointless because city-states are horrible at defending themselves, and it's not hard to take out a single city. So this just means Mongolia can do it faster, I guess. But it's in and of itself, it's pointless. But this is good. All mounted units have +1 movement. That is good. It means horsemen, knights, etc. move faster than any other empire's mounted units, and therefore you go on the offensive much better. And then Keshik is a good unit as well. It replaces the knight, just like the camel archer, which also replaces the knight. It is a ranged unit that the Keshik and the knight and the camel archer. Camel archer is Arabia's unique unit. Are both ranged units that replace a melee mounted unit, and the melee mounted unit is the knight. The Keshik has no combat penalty against cities, just like has no combat penalty against cities like the knight does. I don't know. I can't understand my notes. But the Keshik has no combat penalty against cities, they get the Great Generals 1 promotion, meaning they get more points towards Great Generals for killing units. And they also get the special promotion Quick Study, allowing them to earn 50% more experience from battles. This is good. They get promotions faster. And thanks to Mongolia's ability, they can move 5 tiles instead of 4. They do have a lower melee combat strength than the Keshik and Arabia's Camel Archer, and it is a lower range strength than the Camel Archer. This unit is pretty good overall, but it could be stopped by using crossbowmen or camel archers. Then the Khan. The Khan replaces the Great General. It's one of the few unique units in the game that replaces a Great Person. I think the only other one is the Great Merchant of Venice. The Khan gives the same combat bonus to nearby units, but it gains a movement point, so it can move 5 tiles instead of 4. The Khan that allows it to keep up with the mounted units that Mongolia has. The Khan also allows adjacent units to heal quicker. Every unit fortified to heal, that is, near a Khan, will heal 15 HP more every turn than it would without the Khan. So the Khan isn't extremely powerful, but it's useful. That's a good read. It's okay. I'm gonna call it there for this part of the video of the guide. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next part.